Have you ever wondered why men often pass away before women? Is it just bad luck, or is there something deeper at play? The truth is, the reasons go far beyond chance. From lifelong stress and societal expectations to biological factors and lifestyle habits, men face unique challenges that significantly impact their health and lifespan. But here's the good news: it's never too late to make changes. Whether you're a man looking to enjoy your golden years or someone who cares deeply about the men in your life, understanding these factors can lead to practical steps for a longer, healthier life. Comment below the city you're watching from, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights like these. Now, let's dive into the first reason why men often leave this world sooner than women. It's one many of us don't even realize. 1. The silent killer. Stress and societal expectations. As we explore the reasons behind men's shorter lifespans, let's begin with an invisible yet powerful force: stress. For many men, the weight of societal expectations starts early in life and continues well into their golden years. From a young age, men are often taught to be providers, problem solvers, and the emotional anchors of their families. These roles, while noble, come with a heavy price. The pressure to hold everything together builds over time, creating a lifelong accumulation of stress that silently erodes both physical and mental health. Stress is more than just a feeling of being overwhelmed. It triggers a biological response that releases cortisol, a hormone meant to help the body handle short-term challenges. However, when stress becomes chronic, as it often does for men juggling work, family, and societal expectations, prolonged cortisol levels take a toll on the heart, immune system, and even brain health. This constant state of fight or flight can lead to conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, and weakened immunity, all of which are common culprits behind premature death. For older men, years of chronic stress often manifest in physical ailments, making it harder to enjoy retirement or maintain vitality. But stress doesn't only harm the body, it also impacts emotional well-being. Men are frequently conditioned to avoid showing vulnerability, as if admitting stress or seeking help is a sign of weakness. As a result, many men suppress their emotions, keeping their struggles hidden. Over time, this emotional bottling creates a perfect storm for mental health issues like anxiety and depression, which further contribute to physical decline. Imagine carrying an invisible burden every day and never being able to set it down. For countless men, this is their reality, and by the time they reach retirement, the accumulated stress feels insurmountable. Retirement itself often becomes another source of stress. For decades, many men define themselves by their careers and roles as breadwinners. When work ends, a sense of identity and purpose can be lost. Suddenly, the structure and validation provided by a job are gone, leaving behind feelings of emptiness or irrelevance. Men who were once at the center of their family and workplace may find themselves unsure of where they now belong. This emotional shift can be deeply unsettling, leading to a vicious cycle of purposelessness and declining health. Yet, there is hope. Stress may be a silent killer, but it's not an unbeatable one. For men, particularly those in their later years, acknowledging and addressing stress is the first step toward reclaiming health and happiness. One of the most powerful ways to combat stress is to normalize conversations around mental health. Speaking openly about struggles is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Sharing feelings with loved ones, close friends, or even professionals can lighten the emotional load and offer clarity. Engaging in stress management techniques can also make a world of difference. Activities like mindfulness, yoga, or even simple deep breathing exercises can help calm the mind and lower cortisol levels. For others, finding joy in hobbies, whether it's woodworking, gardening, or painting, can serve as an outlet for pent-up stress. Staying active, both mentally and physically, is key to maintaining balance in life. Retirement, far from being an end, can be a new beginning. Many retirees find renewed purpose through volunteering or sharing their skills with their communities. Imagine a retired accountant teaching financial literacy to young adults, or a former engineer mentoring aspiring professionals. These activities not only provide a sense of contribution, but also foster meaningful connections that combat isolation. Take the story of Jim, a retired teacher from Ohio. After retiring, Jim felt a deep void. His days felt long, and the absence of a structured routine left him feeling lost. Instead of withdrawing, Jim decided to volunteer at a local library, helping adults learn to read. What started as a small commitment turned into a fulfilling passion. Not only did it give Jim a new purpose, but it also introduced him to a community of people who valued his time and expertise. His stress levels decreased, and his sense of self-worth skyrocketed. For families and friends, creating a supportive environment is crucial. Encouraging the men in your life to express their feelings and assuring them that it's okay to ask for help can be transformative. Building safe emotional spaces where men feel valued for who they are, not just for what they provide, helps break the cycle of stress. Stress may be inevitable, but its effects don't have to be. By recognizing its impact, adopting stress relief strategies, and finding new ways to connect and contribute, men can take back control of their lives. The journey may not be easy, but the rewards, better health, stronger relationships, and a renewed sense of purpose, are well worth the effort. Now, let's move on to another key factor that affects men's longevity: how health habits, or the lack thereof, shape their lives. 2. Health neglect, the cost of pushing through. As we move forward, let's look at another major factor that often contributes to men's shorter lifespans: neglecting their health. For many men, especially those now in their later years, the idea of toughing it out has been ingrained from a young age. Showing pain or concern for one's health was often seen as a sign of weakness. This mindset, while perhaps once considered noble, has led to generations of men overlooking vital aspects of their well-being. Unfortunately, the cost of ignoring these health needs becomes more apparent with age. One of the most common habits among men is skipping preventive health care. Regular checkups, which could catch potential health issues in their early stages, are often brushed aside. Phrases like, "I'll go to the doctor if it gets worse," or "it's just a minor ache," are all too familiar. But small issues rarely stay small. A seemingly harmless cough could be the early sign of something serious, or unchecked blood pressure could lead to devastating heart problems. By avoiding routine screenings, many men miss the opportunity to detect and address conditions like high cholesterol, diabetes, or even cancer while they are still manageable. This pattern of neglect allows problems to grow unchecked, often until it's too late. Beyond avoiding doctor visits, many men engage in habits that actively harm their health. Smoking, excessive drinking, and unhealthy eating are far more common among men than women. Smoking alone is responsible for countless respiratory and cardiovascular illnesses. Heavy drinking, often used as a coping mechanism for stress, can lead to liver damage, high blood pressure, and a host of other issues. And then there's diet, too often filled with red meat, fried foods, and sugary snacks that wreak havoc on the body over time. These choices may have seemed inconsequential in earlier years, but as men age, their cumulative effects become more pronounced. Post-retirement life can exacerbate these problems. Without the routine of work, many older men find themselves falling into a sedentary lifestyle. The lack of regular physical activity accelerates the decline of muscle strength, joint flexibility, and cardiovascular health. What might begin as a few hours in front of the television can easily turn into days of inactivity, further worsening conditions like obesity, hypertension, and arthritis. Retirement, meant to be a time of relaxation, can instead become a trap of physical and emotional stagnation. Yet, the story doesn't have to end here. The great thing about health is that even small changes can lead to significant improvements, no matter your age. Regular health screenings are a critical first step. Annual checkups can help detect problems early and offer a clear roadmap for improving overall well-being. For example, getting routine blood pressure and cholesterol checks can uncover silent issues before they escalate. Similarly, cancer screenings, such as prostate exams, become increasingly important with age. These simple preventive steps can save lives. Diet is another area where men can make meaningful changes without feeling overwhelmed. Heart-healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated. Swapping processed foods for fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can drastically improve energy levels and overall health. Imagine replacing a greasy burger with a grilled salmon salad or trading a bag of chips for a handful of nuts. These small adjustments can lead to big changes in weight, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels over time. Physical activity, too, can be woven seamlessly into daily life. For those who feel intimidated by the idea of strenuous exercise, there's no need to start big. Walking around the neighborhood, gardening, or even light stretching can provide surprising benefits. Staying active helps maintain mobility, strengthens the heart, and reduces stress. Consistency is more important than intensity, so finding an activity you enjoy is key. Take the story of Harold, a retired mechanic from Wisconsin. After years of neglecting his health, Harold found himself struggling with obesity and fatigue. His doctor encouraged him to start small, just a 20-minute walk every evening. At first, Harold was skeptical, but he decided to give it a try. Within weeks, he noticed subtle changes. He slept better, felt more energetic, and even lost a few pounds. Encouraged by these improvements, Harold began experimenting with healthier meals and gradually increased his walks to 45 minutes. Over time, these small steps transformed Harold's health and outlook on life. For older men, these kinds of lifestyle changes are more than just possible. They're life-changing, but it's also essential for families to play a role. Encouraging loved ones to prioritize their health and supporting them through the transition to healthier habits can make all the difference. Simple gestures like joining them for a walk or cooking a healthy meal together can turn individual efforts into shared successes. Neglecting one's health is often the result of years of societal conditioning, but it's never too late to break the cycle. By taking proactive steps like regular checkups, adopting healthier eating habits, and staying physically active, men can not only extend their lives, but also improve the quality of their golden years. As we move forward, let's look at another critical factor that shapes men's lifespans: the biological differences that influence how men and women age. 3. Biological differences, the genetic and hormonal puzzle. As we continue exploring the reasons behind men's shorter lifespans, it's important to consider the role of biology. Unlike stress or lifestyle, which can be addressed through choices and habits, biological differences are hardwired into our bodies. However, understanding these differences empowers men to take control of their health and find ways to counteract nature's challenges. One of the most fundamental biological factors lies in our genetics. From the moment of conception, men and women are on different paths. Men inherit one X chromosome from their mother and one Y chromosome from their father, while women inherit two X chromosomes. This distinction might seem trivial, but it carries profound implications for health. Women's second X chromosome acts as a backup, compensating for any genetic defects on the first. Men with only one X chromosome lack this protective mechanism. This leaves them more vulnerable to genetic disorders like hemophilia or certain types of color blindness. While these conditions may not directly shorten lifespan, they add to the overall fragility of men's health. Hormonal differences further widen the longevity gap. Estrogen, the primary female hormone, provides women with a remarkable layer of protection against cardiovascular diseases. It helps maintain flexible blood vessels, promotes healthy blood flow, and reduces the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Men, on the other hand, primarily produce testosterone. While testosterone plays a vital role in building muscle and maintaining energy, it doesn't offer the same cardiovascular benefits. In fact, testosterone is associated with higher levels of visceral fat, fat stored around vital organs like the liver and intestines. Visceral fat is particularly dangerous because it increases the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and chronic inflammation. The way men's and women's bodies age on a cellular level also highlights another crucial difference. Within each cell, telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of chromosomes, play a key role in aging. Over time, telomeres naturally shorten, limiting a cell's ability to divide and repair damage. Research shows that men's telomeres tend to shorten more rapidly than women's, leading to faster cellular aging. This accelerated aging contributes to diminished physical resilience and a greater vulnerability to age-related illnesses. Despite these biological hurdles, men are not powerless. Lifestyle choices can significantly influence how these genetic and hormonal differences play out in everyday life. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can combat the harmful effects of visceral fat and promote better heart health. Regular cardiovascular exercise, such as walking, swimming, or cycling, helps keep the heart strong and supports healthy blood flow. Stress management, too, plays a critical role, as chronic stress exacerbates many of the risks tied to hormonal imbalances and cellular aging. Regular checkups become especially important as men age. Monitoring cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar levels allows doctors to detect and address issues before they become life-threatening. Preventive care, including screenings for prostate cancer and heart disease, is a powerful tool in bridging the longevity gap. The earlier potential problems are identified, the more options men have to manage their health effectively. Studies have shown that when men take proactive steps to prioritize their health, they can dramatically improve their quality of life. For example, research from the American Heart Association highlights how men who adopt heart-healthy habits, such as a Mediterranean diet, regular exercise, and stress reduction, can lower their risk of cardiovascular disease by over 30%. These results demonstrate that biology is not destiny. With the right strategies, men can overcome many of the challenges their genetics present. Consider the case of Richard, a retired firefighter who decided to make his health a priority after a scare in his early 60s. Despite having a family history of heart disease, Richard embraced a healthier lifestyle, cutting back on processed foods and committing to daily walks. He also began attending regular doctor's appointments and learning more about his body's unique needs. Today, at 72, Richard feels stronger and more energetic than he did a decade ago. His story is a testament to the power of knowledge and action in defying biological odds. Biology may have dealt men a tougher hand, but it doesn't have to dictate their future. By understanding these genetic and hormonal differences and taking steps to mitigate their effects, men can reclaim control over their health. The key is to approach aging not as an inevitable decline, but as an opportunity to build resilience and embrace positive change. Now that we've explored the biological challenges, let's turn our attention to an equally significant factor: the emotional and physical toll of isolation in men's later years. 4. Isolation and loneliness, the hidden epidemic. As we move from the biological challenges men face to another equally impactful issue, it's time to shine a light on a silent epidemic: isolation and loneliness. For many men, retirement marks the beginning of a quieter, slower-paced life. While this can be a time of relaxation, it often comes with unintended consequences, chief among them the loss of meaningful social connections. Research has shown that social isolation can be as harmful to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yet for older men, this is a reality they face far too often, with devastating consequences. The transition from the workforce to retirement is a significant life change. For decades, work provided not only financial stability, but also a built-in social network. Daily interactions with colleagues, shared coffee breaks, and the sense of camaraderie that comes with teamwork all disappear when a man leaves his job. Without the structure and routine of work, many men struggle to maintain their social circles, and the friendships they once took for granted begin to fade. This loss of connection can be isolating, especially for men who are less inclined to seek out new relationships. Loneliness doesn't just affect the mind, it takes a heavy toll on the body as well. Studies have found that prolonged isolation increases the risk of depression, weakens the immune system, and makes chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes more severe. The stress of loneliness can disrupt sleep, raise blood pressure, and lead to cognitive decline, including dementia. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, and when one suffers, the other often follows. For older men who may already be grappling with health issues, the impact of loneliness can be particularly devastating. There's also a stark gender difference when it comes to coping with loneliness. Women, who often cultivate strong social networks through friends, family, and community, tend to handle life changes, like retirement or widowhood, with greater resilience. Men, on the other hand, are often less likely to prioritize maintaining or rebuilding their social connections. This is partly cultural. Many men are taught to be self-reliant and avoid expressing vulnerability, making it harder for them to reach out for companionship or support. Take the story of Frank, a widower in his late 60s who spent most of his life working as an engineer. After his wife passed away and his children moved out of state, Frank found himself spending days alone, rarely leaving the house. The once lively home he shared with his family grew quiet, and the loneliness began to weigh on him. He stopped cooking meals for himself, skipped doctor's appointments, and felt no motivation to take care of his health. The cycle of isolation was slowly taking its toll. But Frank's story didn't end there. Encouraged by a neighbor, he joined a local book club at the community library. At first, he felt awkward, unsure of how to engage with the group. But over time, he began to enjoy the conversations, not just about books, but about life. He met other retirees who shared his interests, and the club became a regular highlight of his week. Frank started hosting small gatherings at his home, rekindling his love for cooking and connecting with others. His health and mood improved dramatically, showing just how powerful human connection can be. Rebuilding social connections after retirement is not always easy, but it is vital for both mental and physical well-being. Joining local clubs or volunteer organizations can provide a sense of purpose and community. Whether it's a gardening group, a fitness class, or a choir, these activities help create bonds that enrich life. Technology also offers an incredible opportunity to stay connected. Video calls, online communities, and social media make it easier than ever to reach out to distant family and friends. For those who might feel intimidated by technology, asking younger relatives for help setting up these tools can be a great way to bridge the gap. Family members play a critical role in helping older men combat loneliness. Simple gestures like regular phone calls, inviting them to family gatherings, or even stopping by for a cup of coffee can make all the difference. Encouraging retired loved ones to explore hobbies or attend community events can help them re-engage with the world. The key is to remind them that their presence and contributions are valued. Loneliness doesn't have to define the later years of life. While the challenges of isolation are real, they are also surmountable. By taking steps to rebuild social connections and embrace community, older men can not only add years to their lives, but also add life to their years. As we reflect on all the factors that impact men's longevity, from stress and health habits to biology and isolation, one thing is clear: knowledge and action can create change. Together, we can support the men in our lives to lead longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. Men, your health and happiness are in your hands. While challenges like biology, societal pressures, and loneliness may feel overwhelming, you hold the power to overcome them. By managing stress, prioritizing regular checkups, nurturing meaningful relationships, and staying physically active, you can transform these years into some of the most fulfilling of your life. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better. Take that first step today and inspire the men around you to do the same. Share this message, subscribe for more life-changing advice, and let's create a future where every man thrives in his golden years.